Christians, you and I find ourselves in the same situation that the disciples found themselves in. Let me make a statement that will rock your world. Christianity and Judaism are essentially the same thing. Let me prove it to you. The disciples walked the earth at a time when the Pharisees had added to the law and made all these other laws, right? The law said don't add to, don't take away from. They added all kinds of laws. And what did Jesus do? Jesus was ticked. And he went around his ministry for 3 years condemning that activity and getting back to Torah, the simplicity of the Torah commandments, not all these other man-made traditions. That's you and me. We were born into a time where Christianity has taken away all of the Torah and added all kinds of new commandments, new traditions, new holy days, new all this stuff. We're in the same situation. And we have to do what Jesus and the disciples had to do, which was put aside all the traditions and all the empty religious crap and get back to the simplicity of the Torah, back to the simplicity of what Ecclesiastes said. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Do you see how Judaism, which is not Old Testament obedience, and Christianity today, really, they're very similar in their mentality and their lack of respect for what God commanded, what Jesus commanded. It's the same thing. We're in the same situation. I'm not a Judaizer. All I'm saying is we need to get back to the basics of what God has called us to, what Jesus preached, what Jesus lived, what the Apostle Paul lived, just like Jesus. Get back to the simplicity of the simple commands of God. Put your faith in Christ, in his finished work on the cross, and out of love, obey the commandments. As Jesus says, if you love me, keep my commandments. You ever thought about that before? We are literally in the same situation as the disciples. We need another reformation to get back to the basics of what Christ actually taught. The true gospel, the gospel of the kingdom. This is why we need to get back to observing the holy days, the feast days, because they are a timeless picture of the true gospel of Christ's first coming and his second coming.